Yes. No pressure. Look how God done bless you. Wonder why I'm feeling extra. Say what it do, what the business is. Folk running over what the devil sin. Shoes, pants, chest, shoulders. Get up, off me, don't get closer. It ain't over till it's over. Game breaker, big joker. Jesus like don't trip. Finna make the boat tip. Set the tone with that ice cold, but I won't slip. In my bag like road trip. Switch stands, do my dance, dog, he really don't miss. I don't need a crystal less it's hot sauce, brother. And I ain't gotta sell my soul just to pop off, brother. Ain't no demon time when you anointed. I keep it regal like movies and hop out like I'm getting dropped off, brother. Car smelling brand new. And we don't rock with the flakes, call me shampoo. We just tryna spread that light, bring them lamps through. It's got me thinking that it's nothing that I can't do. Feeling like the champ too. We just out here praising God, looking fly, you know, regular day. No pressure, look how God done bless you. Wonder why I'm feeling extra. Say what it do, what the business is. Folk running over what the devil sin. Shoes, pants, chest, shoulders. Get up, walk me.
Let's get to the wrap-up session. What's up, my people? How y'all doing on a Wednesday? You know, we are coming at y'all on a Wednesday now. You know, wrap-up Wednesday. Don't that sound great? You know. Hope everyone is doing good. Let me see. Volume is low. Let me find out why that is real quick. Maybe it's here. If it's low, clean your ears out, cause this is all I got. This is all I got for you. Okay. Okay. Sound great. All right. Let me see. Let me make sure I got my sound in real quick. How y'all feeling out there? Y'all good? Midweek? Y'all all right? I ain't see y'all in a good week, you know. We trying something new right now. Got some things going on. So I thought Wednesday would be a good time for the time being to kind of test it out and make sure that we don't miss, because we don't miss over here. We like to, that's right, turn your ears up. That's right, turn them ears up. Yeah, we don't miss over here. We try to keep it going, stick with the consistency over here, and just keep rolling, just keep pumping them out and keep the show going. I hope everyone is doing good, feeling blessed. That's right. So I think we got a good show for y'all. Let's see who in. I keep forgetting to put that in real quick. See what we got real quick before we get started. Oh, we got. Oh yeah, you know we gotta have my dog in here, Teriyaki. Good, good. Got Tay in the building. What up? Got Miss Thorne in the building. Got Keisha in the building. Turn them ears up. Let me throw Reebok Rob in here, and let's get this thing cracking. Big dog.
Big dog. Been a minute, man.
What's happening?
Man, I'm hanging in there by a thread, big dog. You know what I'm
By
saying?
by a thread. Hey, come on, dog.
Hey,
Two
man.
more two more days, huh?
2 more days, huh?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
What you
man.
been up to?
Hey, man, just working hard, man. Or hardly working. I don't know which. You know what I mean?
That's true. I be
40
trying to
hours is 40 hours.
I be trying to figure that out too. Am I working hard or am I hardly at work?
Right. Right. Either
Combination.
way, who gonna check me?
Who gonna check me?
You know, I couldn't even get on I couldn't even get on yesterday, man. I went in at the gym, I went too hard, bro.
Mm.
Yeah, I went from I damn near went from PR to ER. It was
Right.
it was it was tough.
Right. That ER be calling. Hey,
I'm thinking, man, I should just go real quick.
bro, at least you was about to go from PR to ER. I was just doing regular backyard work and went and was like, yo.
Kingdom talk for real. Kingdom talk for real.
Hey man, I might be checking out.
I'm checking out.
Yeah, man,
Jeez.
I was doing some yard work yesterday. I had out here yesterday was King Kamehameha Day.
Oh
So
shoot, okay.
yes,
I
so
heard
we
about the
all
homie, yeah.
yeah, we all get a day off and everything like that. And I woke up and was just like, man, let me get the backyard looking right, all that good stuff. And man, bro, man, forget it. We they get to experience us just talking, you know what I'm saying? But
Right,
we all family. We are,
right.
I'm gonna just be real. I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming very close to getting over my greatest phobia. I'm coming very
Lizards?
close to it, and there's times that I've had nightmares. I've been there's places that I've traveled to that has been open bay to where like these little things walk around and they're on the ceilings and things like that. So like I don't know where it came from. I even talked to the man upstairs like, hey, if I'm not testing you right now, but if you rock with your boy, help me out with this fear. Help me out, Lord, please.
We talking about lizards, right?
We talking about lizards, dog.
Lizzies.
Lizzies, not glizzies, Lizzies.
Lizzies.
And so I took I felt like a kid again yesterday, man. I got my little BB gun out and was blasting these boys out there,
Oh
splattering
man.
guts all to
Man.
all to the little chickens out there. They was eating good.
They were thankful.
Yo, thank you.
Thank you, man.
See you
It's a
tomorrow.
meal we didn't have to work for.
Yo, they didn't have to work, cause they be out here, you know what I'm saying, digging. I
Yeah.
I made
For
sure they was
worms.
good.
Yeah.
I made sure they
You
was
made it. You
good.
made sure they had some lizard guts to chomp on.
Hey, they was eating good, and I was pumping it to like 9,
pumping,
blasting these boys, ratting the
pumping and blasting is absolutely crazy. But
yeah, man. So, but so today I went to a little nursery, and they do what like internships, right? So
mhm.
I'm looking into doing an intern there, so I could just get some more knowledge on like soil and different types of bugs that get on your plants and things like that, right? And so obviously, nursery got a whole bunch of plants, herbs and things like that. Man, them lizards was running wild out there. And so I was thinking maybe that's one of the best ways to get over this fear is be an intern where I have no choice, because if Miss Such and Such says like, "Hey, Lenny, can you move this plant over here?" and there's a lizard on it,
No, I'm not. I can't.
I gotta man up. I gotta
Right.
get through it. You know what
You
I'm
have to
saying?
get in that zone. You have to
I
get in
gotta
that
get
zone.
in the zone. Cause yesterday I
Right.
had to get in the zone, and that was
Right.
like by myself. Like, I closed the blinds and everything to make sure that my kids couldn't see me. If I got
Acting a
spooked.
fool out there.
If
Oh
I got
man.
spooked, then I had to run. I don't need my kids seeing their dad like that. You know what I'm saying? I need them.
Because now they got the power.
They got the power, cause they would.
Because all they can do is just catch them, bro. We
They,
used to catch lizards when I was a kid.
they'll go catch them and put them in my bed or something. And now what?
No, no, they won't put them in your bed. They'll just hold them and be like, bro, well, you said I couldn't do what now? All right, fine, 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 fine,
Hey,
fine.
hey,
Stop, stop,
hey,
stop, stop.
hey.
Just go, just
Yes,
go, just go, just go,
yes.
just go,
You
just
can
go, just go.
go to the movies. Yes.
Go, 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 fine, fine, fine.
Hey, here's the keys.
You terrorists, get away.
Here's the credit card. Run it up.
And run away. And run it up and run away from me.
Run away. So,
Jeez.
yeah, man, I'm working on it. That's one of my goals this year. Check back in with me at the end, see where I'm at with it. But I want to be.
So you never been to Cuba, right?
Yeah, I've been. But that
Oh.
don't make it. Bro, I've been to Indonesia.
Yeah, with them big salamanders and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know you seen them suckers is big. Them salamanders, bro.
Yes.
Them big flathead. They got one over there, the flathead salamander, bro.
Yes.
Jet black.
Yes.
Now, now that's one I'm not messing with.
So real quick, I was in Bali one year, and obviously, like, they have open bay living rooms, and I was just chilling on the
I
living
know
room.
you're not about to tell me. I know you're not about to.
And bro, it was late night. You know what I'm saying? Had a little sip. Man, I look up and I saw a big, like, bro, I don't know what it was. It was
Big Dipper.
It was looking at me. I swear it was looking at me. So then I had like I went with another family, so like I had a homeboy with me there. I didn't want to, like, you know what I'm saying, if I was by myself, I would have got up out of there. But I had to man up, so I was just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, just chilling, peeking up every once in a while just to make sure it wasn't gonna, yeah, man,
attack you.
Yeah.
That's why I say I know you got it in you because, bro, everyone knows my phobia is like rats. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like roaches, rats. Like,
right.
And I feel like in our lifetime you've had to kill a couple roaches for me or whatever. Yeah. And I've had to catch a couple lizards for you. But be that as it may, the rat thing, that's not something that I would be able to just. If you were in a living room and there was a rat like in the corner, bro, they're so unpredictable that I'll be like, nah, I'm screaming and getting out.
They're Barry Sanders.
The berries.
They got
Barry Sanders.
Spin moves.
I wouldn't be able to do anything.
Right.
I would be paralyzed with fear.
That's how I used to be. So like now I'm just gradually just getting over it. Like, bro, I got to get over this. I have to.
I need to find a rat fear class then.
I was looking.
Where they just show you pictures of Splinter all the time.
It's like they chain you
Mickey
up.
and Mickey, Splinter and Mickey just
they just chain. Just have them.
I forgot they make those sounds, bro. Nah.
Just in the back.
Yeah. Nah.
And with your eyes closed.
Yeah. And then they have someone touch your shoulder. Nah. I'm crying.
But at the end of it, you'll be rat free.
Somebody said go to PetSmart. Go to PetSmart is crazy. Yeah, but for real, I can't do no rats, man.
Yeah. I can't do it.
Man.
Let me make sure that I have my mic.
Rat is just too much for me, man. That's why that Philly story just had me like.
Yeah. Right.
Man.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, so speaking of like phobias and fears and things like that, I know some people want to have a field day with us being vulnerable and transparent about our phobias, but let me see how people feel about this right here that's gonna be hitting the East Coast this year.
Oh man, I live on the East Coast. I'll be thankful when it hit the West Coast first, though, for real. Like, because I'm like, now. I know that ain't what I think.
If you have a fear of spiders, this venomous fly.
Hold on.
Venomous? I'm putting shoes on right now.
I forgot something. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back real quick. 2 seconds.
Venomous spider. Only way I'm all right with this is if I get bit, I turn into Peter Parker or something. God, man. What's next? Snakes ain't that bad, Keish. Snakes is actually pretty lit.
Yeah, see, I can deal with let me know how the volume is, y'all. I can deal with.
Oh, you good money now?
Yeah, I can deal with a snake over a lizard. See, that's the crazy thing about it, which makes no sense.
A snake to a certain extent, like I'm not getting down on the ground wrestling with an anaconda or nothing like that, but I mean a rat snake or a black racer out there in the yard.
Right. Okay.
I'm just grabbing.
All right, let's rock.
If you have a fear of spiders, this venomous flying arachnid will send you running.
Oh no, I got to go. Like, no.
And experts believe the Joro spider could descend on the East Coast later this year. The brightly hued bug native to East Asia first arrived on U.S. soil years ago. A leading theory suggests the critters were unintentionally transported here via cargo shipments and personal travel, first settling in Georgia.
The climate here actually mimics their habitat in their native range, so it's really, really similar. So they can, exist from the southeastern U.S. all the way, north into Canada.
They'll be hard to miss.
They are quite large.
With a leg span of up to 4 inches and the ability to fly by releasing silk threads into the air, reminiscent of this scene from Charlotte's Web. But this is not fiction.
Across the eastern U.S., they're probably here to stay for the long term.
They might look scary, but experts say they don't pose any real risk to humans and pets, except for maybe some itching and irritation if bitten.
They are not notoriously aggressive.
They feed mostly on yellow jackets, mosquitoes, stink bugs, and that invasive species, the spotted lanternfly. While the Joro is also considered an invasive species, experts say if you do see one, it's okay to leave it alone.
There are a lot of native spiders.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that's hitting the East Coast. So I mean, you on the East, you haven't seen anything like that this summer, huh?
No, I haven't, not yet. And see, I don't have a phobia of spiders, right?
Right.
But then you see something like that, and it's like, bruh.
Right.
Now maybe I do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big spider, and it's venomous too.
And it's flying.
And it's, man, you go to swat one of those things, and it just like on your face, bruh.
Right.
Now I'm just, now you gotta just light yourself on fire or something like that. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Whatever you do, the water gun is good.
That salt gun, yeah.
But don't be like them boys in Texas with them switches. So let's
now
go
this
over.
Now this is more my speed right here.
this
is more my speed. I would light a rat up.
Less than 3 seconds.
These things are the most dangerous things we see on the street today as far as it comes to weaponry.
Federal authorities across Texas are cracking down on these small pieces of plastic that they are calling kill switches.
It looks innocuous enough, like a Lego or a K'NEX block, but this 1-inch piece of plastic is killing people.
Raising awareness on the small 3D printed parts that fit into the back plate of a gun.
They're very, very small, very easy to miss. And this is in the semi-automatic configuration. And all we do is turn it. And it's now into the fully automatic position.
Giving pistols the firepower of illegal machine guns. The kill switch is already responsible for deaths across the country.
Somebody get Bill!
Including that of Houston police officer Bill Jeffrey in 2021, killed in a burst of automatic fire triggered by this device.
Houston proper is ground zero. By far, we're seeing the most of these devices in the city of Houston.
Since then, the number of kill switches recovered by law enforcement has skyrocketed. Texas-based ATF agents have seized nearly 1,000 switches since 2017, with half of those captured in just the last year.
That's partly because you can manufacture switches using commercially available 3D printers.
The parts costing as little as 8 cents to produce, but ATF agents have purchased copies undercover for up to $400.
So there's a significant profit to this.
At times, federal agents say sellers are even turning to social media to sell these products.
Just this device right.
Yeah, so what is up with like people incriminate themselves on social media like that? Like
they love to do that stuff.
Makes
no sense. Love to do that.
Makes no sense.
And then holler about free this person. No, that person got themselves. That person committed a crime, and then went on social media and decided to tell us about it.
Right.
You know, and give exact details that only the killer, alleged killer, would know. You know what I mean?
Right. I tell you what though, those margins are beautiful. 8 cents to make, and selling them for 400. Jeez.
And listen. The thing about a switch is, man, is that not a lot of people. Why it's so dangerous is that not a lot of people in the urban community are wielding guns correctly, right? So 2 hands on the gun, down range. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you have a switch on that thing's jumping everywhere, dog. That recoil on that thing is gonna send you all over. So that's how innocents get hit instead of the right man and everything like that. And they think it's just cool to have these little cats. Oh, I got a 30 on my hip, and it's like,
yeah,
bro, if it's gonna take you 30 rounds to maybe nick me,
right? Maybe.
I'm sending 4 down range and all of them gonna hit. I promise you. But it's they got to get those switches off the street, man. They got to do something because I agree that they're dangerous.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So you know how we've been kind of covering sexual assault just about every show and showing different ways that that is hitting the streets and places like that. But there's a report that came out of how many sexual assaults are in air now with airlines. We just covered the flight attendant that was filming the girls that one time in the bathroom. Remember that case?
Oh yeah, where he had the phone covered up.
Right, exactly. So
freaky deaky.
Right. So report had came out earlier, and this is what is going on in the air.
Renewed attention on a disturbing trend on airplanes. A North Carolina man pleaded guilty to assaulting a teen on a flight to Seattle. The FBI is using this case to warn others before the busy summer travel season. King 5's Maddie White joining us now in studio with details. Maddie.
Greg, records show while seated next to a 15-year-old girl, an elderly man named Jack Robertson pretended to be asleep when he slipped his hand onto the girl's thigh and ran it up and under her skirt. What happened next is what the U.S. attorney calls an act of bravery.
Oftentimes what we see is victims freeze. They're terrified.
Shocked and afraid. It's how federal officials say the teenager felt after it happened.
They don't know what to do. They have nowhere to go. They're captive. They're right next to the person who just sexually assaulted them.
But the girl then bravely reported being groped to her guardian, who called over the flight attendant.
And these people show such courage and such bravery.
They moved Robertson to a different seat. Upon arrival to SeaTac, he was met with handcuffs and now is sentenced to 6 months in federal prison.
We hope folks recognize that's a hazardous choice.
Between 2019 and 2023, the FBI tells me they've seen a 60% increase in cases like these, sexual assaults on an aircraft.
There is a threat to people on airplanes, and that we want passengers to be paying attention, not only for themselves, but for their co-travelers.
Since the beginning of this year, law enforcement has responded to SeaTac for 9 instances of inappropriate touching on an aircraft. To put that into perspective, the FBI investigated just 96 cases across the nation in all of last year.
Unfortunately, we've seen a disturbing uptick in these really horrible assaults.
Too many of them, U.S. Attorney Tessa Gorman says, are kids.
A lot of these crimes are affecting kids from 14 to 16, so they're young people.
And ahead of the summer travel rush,
bystanders can really help out victims and survivors of this crime.
When something seems unusual, as we always say, if you see something, say something and do something.
As for why we're seeing an increase in aircraft sex assaults, federal officials told me they hope it's just that more people are reporting, but that it also could be that travel numbers are high and SeaTac is a big hub for global travel. In studio, I'm Maddie White.
Yeah, so, seeing that it's an uptick and, a lot of parents and have young kids that do young travel to go see their, other parent or go see the grandma, granddad. So yeah, definitely gotta that's something that you gotta train your kids to, like, hey, speak up if something like that happens, and just hopefully that bystanders are around to act on
it. There's a lot of things that are sticking out to me in this, like him pretending to be asleep and then only getting 6 months.
Right.
Bro, he's gonna be out right when the weather gets nice. Right. What are we talking about here? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he copped a feel and now he gets 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, you know me, man. You know how I like to deal with stuff like this. Right. Somebody got to grope him up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And really, like, make him uncomfortable. And it's like, I just can't you know, healing energy to the family, to that little girl, man, and thank God she was brave enough to tell her guardian, and thank her guardian for showing restraint for not socking dude out. You know what I mean? Like, because that would be tough. Like, as a guardian of a child, and then your child says something like that, and then you sock them. It would be tough not to sock them out. You know what I mean?
Well, I was thinking it was the guardian for the airline.
Got you.
But I could be wrong though.
Probably,
I mean,
yeah.
Maybe. I thought it was more of like the host or whatever. That,
right.
You know.
Now, you know what? I'm gonna say it, man. Do you think this guy was white?
I do.
It's the 6 months that tells me he was white. You know what I mean? Because now I'm starting to deep it, bro. Pause. And I think he might be out in 90 days.
Good behavior.
He ain't gonna stir up no trouble in there.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He not gonna kick up no trouble in there. He probably got money for a decent little lawyer. His lawyer got him 6 months. And he'll be out in 90 days, bro. Like, yeah. And then this will be a guy that busts on somebody back in a Publix, and it's like, see, if he had been behind bars, stuff like this wouldn't happen, because last year in 2024, he actually did up some stuff on a plane. You see what I'm saying? And it's like,
and then before you know it, he running around Dollar Tree, wetting up women's backs,
spraying them.
Yeah,
an elderly dude at that, man.
Yeah, that's how it happened.
Wanking.
It's out of control.
It just couldn't. It couldn't happen, dog. Like,
right.
It couldn't happen, man. So it is what it is.
But yeah, let's go over to Vegas real quick. I wanted to kind of wanted to highlight this story. You know, it's just one of them things that we've been kind of seeing a lot with, parental control, and how parents have been treating their kids this year. So I wanted to highlight this story right here.
Disturbing video as police rescue 2 small children discovered locked in a cage. The 2 adults who live there now behind bars themselves. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Brian Loftus.
I'm Denise Valdez. 8 News Now investigator David Sharns first told you about those arrests. Now he has video you're seeing first on 8 News Now. David?
And we do want to warn you that this video is hard to watch. Police say they found 6 children, all under the age of 11, all showing signs of child abuse. 2 locked in that cage, and one of them with injuries so bad, police say his father thought the boy was dead.
Hey, it's Metro Police. We just want to make sure everything's okay.
A Metro Police officer's body camera rolls as she and her partner try to get into this extended stay unit.
Can we get a third unit to our location?
Officers are outside the door on Valley View near Flamingo after meeting up with 33-year-old Amanda Stamper and 31-year-old Travis Doss at this store across the street. According to grand jury transcripts, Stamper told police Doss had sent her a photo of his 11-year-old son, saying he believed he had beaten the child so hard he was deceased inside this cage.
You already talked to your parents, okay? You need to open the door so we can talk to you.
Officers are talking to a child behind the door who refuses to remove the security chain. You can hear the small voice.
We want to make sure you guys aren't hurt.
We're not hurt. We're fine.
I can't leave until I physically see you, sweetie. Please answer the door.
After about 10 minutes, a maintenance worker convinces the child to let the officers in. The adults cross the threshold, finding the 6 children alone, 2 padlocked in a small cage.
Hey, guys. Hey, call it for animal control.
Officers struggle to open the lock.
You're 9, sweetie. Okay.
cutting it and freeing the two young boys, one badly beaten and severely malnourished, with swollen eyes, open wounds, and scars.
Oh, baby, come on. Okay, sweetie.
Police lead the children into daylight, several of the 6 telling police their father said never open the door for strangers.
Sweetheart, it's okay. It's okay, baby. It's okay.
The badly injured child saying on video he hadn't eaten in days and that his father would hit him with belts, cords, and according to police, this pan. A detective telling the grand jury he kept saying that he was always hungry, that he needed big food because he was a big boy now, and that he would have to share like one large fry from McDonald's with his 6 siblings.
I hit my face on the cage because I was squished up trying to get out of the cage because I had all this noise and I was freaking out.
A prosecutor to a detective. Did the 11-year-old mention to you how often he was locked in the dog cage? He said all day, every day. He said too long.
Not a bad kid. This is just a really crappy situation, okay? And we're gonna get you some help, and this is not gonna happen again.
That child survived, but we do not know right now where he or his siblings are. We are told they...
Yeah, bro. One large fry for 6 kids is... it's heartbreaking, man. Like, just to see, you know, locked up every day and had to endure that type of torture, man.
Those kids didn't ask to be brought into this world, bro. Like, you know, like, if you hate your kids, give them up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, like, the kids are in the cage, but the dogs are free, bro. Like, it's just like, man.
Backwards, man. And you know,
it's so backwards, bro.
You know, the sad thing about that one is those kids are gonna get split up now because of.
They're gonna get split up. They're gonna get molested. They're gonna get. It's gonna get slightly better, but it's gonna be way worse, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if there's all types of, like, they've just been dealt a bad hand. They're gonna need therapy for the rest of their life. Like, it's just, they're getting split up from their sibling. They'll probably never see their siblings again.
Right.
Because it's gonna be so hard to get somebody to take in 4 or 5 kids like that.
Yeah, that's.
And if someone does take in 4 or 5 kids like that, it's an old, like, grandma, and it's gonna be tough, man. There's so few good foster homes, man.
Right.
Because that's just terrible. It was in Vegas, Kathy, but yeah, it's, man, it's that really just made me so sad, bro, because it's like, you know, like, even the kids, man, the kids love their parents. They was like, yo, we all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, bro, he kicked his kid in the head.
Yeah, beat him with that walk. Like, come on, man.
With the walk, dog. I just don't understand, like,
a crossing guard in Delaware,
what you could do, what a child could do at that age to make you beat the crap out of them
every day
and lock them in a cage.
Yeah. Right.
Bro, a kid should not be able to make you that mad, dog. Like, oh, man, I think it was probably both love and fear, like, because, like, they love their parents, man. Like, that's all they ever known, you know what I mean? And the parents just really, really dislike them and hate them, like, to be locking them up. And then they asked bro how long he had been in the cage. He said all day, every day.
Yeah, for me, man, it's the one fry for 6 kids. You know, like, when we take our kids to, you know, Mickey D's or whatever the case may be, it's like, if they out of the happy meal stage, they're pretty much getting a fry to themselves.
And they busting that fry down before you get to the house.
Right.
Like,
right.
I think this needs to be done to them right? I think the father especially, like if I could kick him in his head, right, repeatedly, and then lock him in a crate, not like a jail cell. That's too much room. Like in a crate, like that kid was limping because his legs hadn't stretched like that in a long time. Like, and then just barbecue his ribs. You know what I'm saying? And then like take a walk to his head, and then after that, just like here's a large fry that you got to split with 6 other people.
Right. Yeah. Right. And if you're not man enough, you're probably only gonna get like 1 or 2 fries.
You know, big bro was probably like, man, y'all go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all go ahead, take them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in a cage. I'm in a freaking cage, padlock. Y'all go ahead, man. Y'all go ahead, take off on them fries. Like,
see, and that's the thing though. They padlocked them, so I mean, he was probably having to use the bathroom in the cage and everything. Like, that's tough, man. And those,
I will.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will say though that at 11, like so this is crazy, right? And I gotta bring a little laughter to this to get me out of that, because that was a sad story. But if you lock myself and you up at 11 in a crate, bro, we're getting out of there. What are you talking about, dog? We're kicking the roof off this mug. You talking about a padlock gonna stop us? Bro, we getting out. What are you talking, bro? We're standing up in the thing, and the crate won't be, bro. You know how big we were at 11, bro?
Hey, on 3.
Nah, bro.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
On 3, dog. We out.
Bro, and that cage is not holding us.
Hey, on 3, and we on them Vegas Strip.
Man, we on the strip, right? And all my siblings too.
We out.
Man, we out. And then when they see us wandering, they're gonna be like, "Yo, you're not gonna believe this, but I was just in a cage up the street."
Like juvenile.
Golly.
Nah, a cage.
Yeah, and it was just like, yeah, nah, what happened? Nah. I was in a dog cage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I'm starting to think about it even more. They probably malnourished them too so badly to where they didn't have the strength to bust out of there, bro. Because I'm thinking about us on three good hot meals a day.
Right. Because
strength was there.
Yeah, they did say Buddy was kind of beat up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that.
So yeah, that's out the window.
Right.
So, that's out the window then.
Yeah. So, hold on real quick. Let me.
Because two healthy 11-year-olds.
Yeah, you can kind of bust out of that.
Yeah.
Right. Big Sean, what up, man?
Big Sean.
Yo, what's good?
What up?
How you doing, brother?
All is well. Trying to be like you when I grow up.
Yeah, no, man. You definitely don't want to be.
Nah,
you don't want to be.
Put your sight somewhere else, my brother.
Yeah.
hey, don't waste your whistle on that.
Ain't no sense in both of us being messed up.
Yeah. So the chat is asking, Sean, are you saying that you have a story time on crates?
Oh my God. Oh man.
I don't have anything.
Oh, okay.
As of right now.
Whew,
no stories.
Whew,
all right. All right.
I was about to buckle up.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of off the wall stories and heartbreaking stories, I want to kind of get this one and kind of get y'all thoughts on this lady that was, you know, running wild.
Topping our news this hour and in your 17 Crime Watch, a woman who stands accused of killing a child outside an Ohio grocery store says she's killed before here in Bakersfield. 17's Michaela Armstrong has the story.
Bianca Ellis is accused of fatally stabbing a 3-year-old boy outside a Cleveland, Ohio supermarket. Ellis is facing charges of murder, aggravated murder, attempted murder, and more. The 32-year-old pled not guilty to all 7 of her charges at her arraignment Monday. According to police, the motive for the stabbings is unclear and appears to have been a random attack. Still, according to court records, Ellis told police that a few months ago, she killed a woman in California, Bakersfield, California, and dumped the body in an unknown area, possibly near a river. Kern County criminal case records show Ellis was accused of 3 counts of battery charges in late January. Ellis's depiction to Cleveland police was vivid, describing in the court records the victim was a, quote, a white female, approximately 5'6", 150 pounds.
That's crazy, bro. What was her name? What was her name? Bertha?
The big breast monster.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead now.
Hold on.
Be careful.
Yeah, go
Be
ahead.
careful.
Go ahead. Hold on. I don't know how that story even got up there. That's the.
I just can't imagine you walking into the supermarket with your 3-year-old and then your 3-year-old getting jugged up by a woman with a fade.
Woman with a fade, man.
A peasy fade at that. Because anytime you see someone with a peasy fade, you know they're not there. They're there to do harm. You know what I'm saying? In some way, shape, or form. And you're gonna do this to my 3-year-old, and then it's just look at this.
Studios.
Look at Big Dog.
This is 3 News at 6 with Russ Mitchell and Christy Paul.
We begin tonight with a $5 million bond for Bianca Ellis. She's the woman charged with stabbing a 3-year-old to death in a random attack in the parking lot of a North Olmsted Giant Eagle. Ellis's arraignment began via video, and when she was uncooperative, the judge ordered her to come into court in person immediately.
And 3-year-old Julian Wood's father also spoke before the judge set bond. Stephanie Haney explains what was a very odd hearing and what's next in the case.
It was a bizarre and emotional morning in Cuyahoga County Court today.
Your Honor, that day, 1 week ago, she took everything from us. There's nothing that could ever replace my son.
With the father of murdered 3-year-old Julian Wood pleading for the judge to deny bond to defendant Bianca Ellis.
Just do whatever you can to keep this monster behind bars.
Her arraignment today started on video.
Miss Ellis? Yeah? Please raise your head. Where is it coming from?
Before moving to an in-person hearing.
Have you received and read your indictment? Yes or no? Miss Ellis? Why don't you want to answer these questions?
When Ellis wouldn't cooperate.
There are some mental health issues. Just to clarify, I do believe she hasn't been on her medication.
I will come back to her.
Okay.
Once in the courtroom, Ellis first tried to plead not guilty to murdering Julian in Spanish.
You wish to enter a plea of not guilty? Sí. Pardon me? Sí.
Before the judge required she answer in English.
What's same mean?
Yes
or no?
To her.
Yes. Okay.
Ellis is charged with a total of 10 felonies and misdemeanors related to stabbing the child and his mother, Margot, in a Giant Eagle parking lot after security video showed her entering the store where they were shopping with a knife stolen from a nearby Volunteers of America thrift store. At first, Ellis told the judge she refused to hear the charges in the indictment against her.
We have a copy here. You can read it.
I don't want to read it.
You don't want to read it?
No.
Are you willing to accept that the public defender has read it to you?
Is that her
Causing
stomach
the judge
or
to read the
breast?
indictment out loud in court while Ellis smirked, smiled, swayed from side to side, and raised her eyebrow. Ellis could be put to death in Ohio.
The state is reserving its right to add death penalty specification.
If she's convicted of the most serious criminal charges she's facing. A very emotional day today in Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court. Now, we can tell you the bond in this case was originally set at $1 million. The judge today in Cuyahoga County raised that to $5 million because the child did not survive. The next step in this case is a pretrial conference that's scheduled.
Yeah, man, that's tough.
That wasn't a fade either, Rob. That's just a nappy jump right
Easy.
there. That's a nappy
Easy
too,
head.
all the way around. Jump like
Just
dead head.
Yeah, just a man.
Yeah, that's tough, and it goes back to keeping your head on a swivel, and like
because I honestly feel like, man, if she ran down on the mom and the child, that mom probably couldn't do nothing, bro. Like that's a real big dog, bro. Like
yeah, man.
Big dog, and Big Dog had a knife, bro. We're not talking about hand to hand. She had a juger in her hand.
Yeah, breast all tucked in her pants. She's going down out there.
Yeah, but
But
it's almost just like she was literally just stalking them, though. Like,
yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, situational awareness. I don't know if you kind of looking around and the average woman with their kid, I would say they probably are focused on the 3-year-old.
Right.
But ain't nobody really expecting for nobody to run up and hit your 3-year-old with the blicky though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody's really expecting that.
Right.
Unfortunate situation. She deserves the chair though. That's a fact.
Yeah.
You need to get hit with that knee.
Sure.
Yeah, 100%.
She deserves a chair for sure. Like, and where's the situational awareness in the store? She was walking around the store with the thing out, with the blade out.
No, like nobody saw that.
Yo,
like, hey,
Big Dog, what you doing?
Like, hey, you buying?
Ma'am. Yeah. Ma'am, what are you doing? You got a kitchen knife. You got the Michael Myers joint running around here. Like, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah.
Well, we couldn't avoid it.
And it's somebody that we haven't checked on in a while. I wanted to take a visit to one of our favorite mayors in the Midwest. So let's take a look at Super Mayor real quick, and then we can move on.
So as you can see right outside. So breaking tonight, one of the most chaotic meetings in Dalton that we've seen yet. Police had to stop it from getting physical.
Let's get right to political reporter Paris Schutz and the showdown between Lori Lightfoot and Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Paris.
Dawn and Scott, that showdown is continuing outside of Dalton Village Hall. Trustees voted 4-2 to override Mayor Henyard's veto and reinstate Mayor Lori Lightfoot's investigation into Henyard's spending into that 2023 trip to Las Vegas. And as you mentioned, soon after that vote, things just broke down into utter chaos. Multiple sides shouting obscenities at each other. Cops had to step in and break it up. This is right after Henyard and her allies tried to block Lightfoot from getting up and making some brief remarks. Eventually, Lightfoot got her mic turned on, and here's a little bit of what she had to say.
Thank you. What I will say is that it's an honor to be working on behalf of the residents of Dalton. We have not arrested one.
You was once a mayor too. You should not even be disrespectful like that.
What you doing, bro?
That's sad. Clear the room. Clear the room. Clear the room, guys. This means adjourn. Everybody out.
So 2 hours of
That's why they don't give black
absolute
people
contention here.
nothing like
Lots of
that. That's why they don't
residents
give us nothing.
voicing their concerns earlier today.
Yeah, so obviously, you know, that's one of the first things that we covered on the show. That was the trip to Vegas, and we know that trip to Vegas, one of her assistants had got sexually assaulted, and all of that Vegas trip is coming out now, and I would think it's only a matter of time before, you know, she gets the boot, but like
she's gonna get arrested, dog.
Like Teriyaki say, you remember when he was just like, she get to stay in because she getting over on black people?
Yeah, for real. They tired of it now. They got shirts made that said you going to jail on the front and the back.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
So that's what's going on with the super mayor. And you know, depending on how you feel about certain holidays and things that you know, we get off, you know, we got different types of months too, right? So you got Black History Month. What other type of months you have out there?
Pacific Islanders Month.
Right.
Women's Month.
Right.
Pride Month.
Right.
You got White Month.
Wait, White Month?
Yeah, it's where. You never heard of it?
No, I never heard of that one.
It's 12 months a year, baby. 12 months a year. It just runs. They loop it. They got it on loop. You know what I'm saying? In addition to whatever month they're running, whatever promotional scheme they're running. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all merchandise. That's why they want to do it.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
Men's Mental Health Month is this month, but then you want to do Pride Month with that. It's like,
right.
What we got going on.
Right. So
I meant to send it to you, Lenny. Did you hear my mayor? The DC mayor yell out, DC is the gayest city in the world on the microphone.
No, I didn't see that.
At the Pride Parade?
No, I did not see that.
Oh, my mayor grabbed the mic and yelled out, DC is the gayest city in the world.
Oh, I got to see that.
And they was in San Fran like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Right. So one bar owner is kind of taking the months, and he looked at Pride Month and he wanted to create something. So I want y'all thoughts on this right here.
All right, well, we couldn't avoid it much longer. The Eagle Bar that has made a name for itself with catering toward a certain segment of the conservative contingency. I mean, in fact, they have a conspiracy theory trivia night where you can win an AR-15. They have a Christian singles mingle night and flat earth events. Well, that bar has hit the mother lode of marketing with its latest idea. Beginning over the weekend, this last weekend, on June 1st, the Old State Saloon kicked off its answer to June being Pride Month. Heterosexual Awesomeness Month, where Mondays, any hetero male can come in for a free beer as long as they're dressed like a hetero male. They have a day for hetero couples. That would be Wednesdays, with a deal on food. And Thursdays are for hetero women. Well, they posted this idea on social media back on May 29th. And as you can imagine, the reaction ran the gamut. And it sparked interest worldwide. To say it went viral would be an understatement. So, I mean, take a look at the turnout from Monday, the first of this hetero male night. So many dudes, I know. So many, they announced it was their biggest Monday sales ever. Well, they've been selling hats and shirts to customers all over the world. So we figured we'd stop by to find out not only how it's been going, but why it even went there in the first place. The lunch crowd has arrived at the Old State Saloon. Is this a normal Wednesday for you guys?
No, this is not a normal Wednesday. We don't usually get a crowd in like this, and we don't even have a sign on the building yet. I'm still trying to get a sign on the building.
But they do have a sign on the wall inside.
Heterosexual Awesomeness Month, yes.
It's this Eagle Bar and Grill's response to Pride Month.
Why is it so special for,
them to celebrate a whole entire month, but why can't we celebrate that here too? And we're here to support him, 1,000%.
You could have gone to lunch anywhere.
Could have gone anywhere, but we wanted to support this place.
Why?
I don't know, it just seemed like someone bucking the trend. And
do you think it's necessary?
I mean, I don't know if it's necessary, but to me it's kind of like, why not?
But for the big question of why...
Oh man, so it's everything California isn't?
That we needed to ask of the owner.
So I'm a retired police officer.
Who moved to Idaho 6 years ago. Where'd you come up with this idea?
June was approaching, and it was all the stuff coming, and with my beliefs, I love people, but as far as like being Christian, a biblical Christian, to celebrate it, I can't do that. And it's just the last several years has been getting so extreme, like just to the extreme levels. So we created Heterosexual Awesomeness Month.
When you say it's gotten extreme, what do you mean by that?
The imagery that you see all month with parades and getting to the point of nakedness and things with people walking down the street. And I can't get behind that.
Have you seen that locally?
As far as
that extremity?
I don't know. I haven't been down there to look.
Down where?
Where in Boise?
Just Boise in general?
Yeah.
You're talking about like the Pride Festival stuff. Is that what you're talking about? Okay, I got you. Like the Pride Month. Is that extreme to you?
The Pride Month in general?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think what you're getting at is, I'm always going to side with what God says. Okay, in His Word, it's going to be what's moral and not moral, as far as moral righteousness. Okay, and so if the Bible says that it's a sin to act out in homosexuality, then I'm going to agree with what the Bible says. That doesn't mean I don't love homosexuals. It doesn't mean I don't love people. I love people. But just because you love somebody doesn't mean that you're going to jump behind them and support them in every single decision that they make in life. It's not a requirement.
So are you saying that LGBTQ plus people, they are living in sin?
If they are acting out on those decisions, in other words, we're born a certain way with certain tendencies, and that's similar with sexuality. And ultimately, I'm going to side with what God says, okay? And I didn't make the rules; God made the rules. So don't point me. I'm just going off what the Bible says. And it is sinful, to act out on that.
You could just do nothing. Why do this?
I think people. Obviously, with the reaction that's happening around the country and the world. People I think they're feeling the way that I was feeling, just kind of fed up with the extremeness of it and how it's the expectation that you're supposed to jump behind and support something, and people are just rejecting it. They're standing up and saying, enough is enough, we don't want all this.
But this isn't a hate thing?
Absolutely not, no hate at all. It's a love thing, it's not hate. It's just, please don't make us be forced to participate into something that we don't want to do, I guess.
So
I'm with him.
Yeah, he didn't say anything wrong.
I'm with him.
At the end of the day, man, it's a celebratory week, a celebratory month about who you sleeping with, bro. Just why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why you if that's your preference to be, a part of that community, then fine, bro. But I don't understand why you need a month to I don't understand the month. I don't understand the month thing. I don't understand the month. Even since back in the 70s and 80s, bro, they've been having the parade in Miami and San Fran and DC and LA and been doing it like that. Why can't y'all just get y'all parades off and dip? Y'all gonna do this a month, bro? And it's I don't know, man. A month is a long time. They picked June. Black History Month, they gave us 28 days and told us to get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't understand it, man. I don't know.
Hey.
What's up, Keish?
Keish.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
So
wonderful.
I came up here because what are the odds you play something like this after the last episode? So
What do you
I
mean?
like that he's doing a hetero sexual month. And I stand firm with him. I just wanted to come up on here and publicly apologize for saying that gay people should stay in the closet. I do.
You said
Like
that after I did? That's
everybody.
crazy.
But I wanted to publicly apologize because no one should leave.
That's crazy, dog.
Wait, don't
Stand
laugh.
on
I'm trying to
business, Keith.
apologize.
Hey, Keith, we standing on business, man. Free R. Kelly.
Keith, dog, I didn't know you went out like that, fam. I dipped and you just went off, huh? Yo, wow.
It's not
Michael
one of my finest
Jackson.
moments.
Keep him in the closet. Yeah, please. That's crazy. My bad. Now go ahead and get your joint off. My fault, man.
No, it's okay. You know, I think everybody needs to work through their sin. All sins hold different, you know, all sin is not the same. However, I don't want people to think that I am judging the person when I'm discerning and judging the spirit. So, yeah, long story short, I do apologize. Everybody should live their truth. However, if it is against God, then I stand against you. Amen.
I just can't imagine a family member coming out and they be like, no, you're not. You're not gay. No, you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gay. You're not gay. We're not accepting that. You're not gay. Stay in that closet. You
I'm telling you, I got boys. I'm not accepting it.
Oh, man. Yeah, Bug, I know. Yeah, I know.
I'm not accepting that. I reject that.
Bug will be done fought him.
What do you think that means, Bug? Like what do you
make sure you bring your A game?
Say that one more time, Lenny.
What do you mean by that? Like, if they was like, you know, God forbid, if one of your boys turned out to be gay, you wouldn't accept
I'm not gonna cut my child off. I'm still gonna love my child the same, but in my mind, you're not. I just don't know what you're talking about. Doesn't exist to me. They're not allowed
so
over
what
the
about
house.
Thanksgiving when he's bringing his boyfriend through, bro?
No, you can't. That doesn't happen. The guy's
they're
not allowed
jumping
here.
you. Bug, they're jumping you.
I can fight.
They're absolutely not.
Bug, they're gonna jump on you and beat the snot out of you, bro. What are you talking about?
I can fight.
Okay.
And I ain't losing to no sissies. You crazy?
Oh.
Okay. So let me ask y'all this though, if because we all have kids up here, if the kid came home and they like the same sex and they're not allowed to be themselves around you, can we say that we love them?
You said that they're not allowed to be themselves. That's just a part of them, right? So you love them regardless, but that's just a part of you. People make you know, they make it a whole identity as if that whole totality of a person. You're more than
that
just
doesn't
gay,
define you. You're right.
You could be an artist, right? And so
somebody said
so
Keisha
no,
for
it's not that
president.
they
Let me
can't
put that comment up.
Let me ask you a question, Lenny. Let me ask you a question, Lenny. So when you got that, good God, Kyrie, when you got that child that stay in trouble with the law, that can't get out the streets, always drugged and always back and forth in jail, and the parents like, you know what? Hey, I'm washing my hands. That don't mean that the parent don't love him. I just don't agree with your ways, brother. I cannot get down. Listen, I don't care about being politically correct. I don't care if they attack me. I'm not apologizing. It's not gonna happen.
Careful.
It's not right.
Careful.
And it's not what we. I no. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna tiptoe around homosexuals. It's not right. It's not what I believe in. It's not what I'm raising my children to believe in. If you feel like you want to be a homosexual, don't bring your gay partner to Thanksgiving. And when we're around, we act like you not. We still going to play catch in the yard. But on your own time, it's what you want to do.
Right.
But I'm not tiptoeing around it. I don't agree with it, and I'm not going to act like it's cool. Oh, that's all right, son. come on, get daddy a hug. It's all right. No, you're a snickerdoodle. And you cannot bring your boyfriend to dinner. Sorry.
But your son can.
Whose son can?
Your son, like you're saying he can come to dinner, but his
Yeah, my son is my son. You you know what I'm saying? You definitely, I love you. You ain't going nowhere.
right.
But we ain't gonna acknowledge that you're a homosexual in this house. We don't acknowledge it.
You better straighten up when you walk through that door.
Yeah. Hey, you better put your Jordans on. Take that halter top off and put them Jordans on.
Right. Okay.
Telling your child.
What's your thoughts, Lenny? Lenny, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah. Yeah. What are my thoughts on this? Whew. Yeah, this is obviously, you the love part is it has to be strategic, right? Because a lot of times we look at love as just the passionate part, the soft part, like, oh, I love my kid. And when we start talking about the whole discipline part of it, the correcting part, it may not always look like love. And so Boog, I definitely understand where you're coming from with the acknowledging part. Like, yeah, you want to denounce it as much as possible and not accept it. Um, but I would say too is not letting that person, basically an adult, be who they are. You can pretty much cast them away, and I would be careful on making sure that I keep my kid close enough so eventually the influences that hopefully will be there will eventually deliver that kid, my child.
And not
So
trying to be funny. I don't
right.
believe that nobody's born that way, right?
Correct.
You got a man walking around your house all day, every day. To my boys, you got a grown man walking around your house all day, every day.
Right.
I fought with no. I do man things.
Right.
You get a good representation of what a man is. You have a grandfather that's a man, and you're surrounded by a bunch of men. So that's where they come in with actually being an active parent in your children's lives as well, though. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. But
So, oh, go ahead, Lenny. I'm
no,
sorry.
no, you got it. You got it.
Nah, I was gonna say, it's really it's really a hard pill to swallow, and I definitely hear and what he's saying. I just think that you have to really use a lot of wisdom. Everything really breaks down to wisdom, because you don't. They know who you are. They know what you stand for already. But also, you still have to show love, and it's almost like, what would Christ do? You know. So you got to really think about that when it comes to that, because love is not always a feeling. Love is an action. So how do you show love to your son or your daughter that is kind of confused right now? And I'm going to stand on confused, because God did not want you to be liking the same sex, period. I don't care what nobody say. And it's a trick of the enemy. And yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you got to be, you got to be wise. You don't really want to shun them away, but you do want to love on them and know that they always have um they always have your best we have their best interests, you know what I'm saying? But there's certain things that we won't stand for. So if you just decide to get married, how like, are you wanting me to come to the wedding? Are you wanting me to walk you down? There's certain things that I can't do, being a man of God, being a woman of God, whoever, that whatever that looks like, you just got to be mindful
Oh, you
of.
just hit a joint right there, though, Sean. What if they want you to walk them down the aisle? Good God!
Yeah, yeah,
To break your baby
yeah,
heart, you got to tell your baby, "Look, I can't do that."
yeah. So yeah, I was. This is real. It's real tough, but it's definitely something that's needed to talk about. And you just got to really be wise, because I'm just gonna say this. It's kind of sad that we are in a generation where when my daughter come home, it's like, you like boys? Like, I shouldn't be asking that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't be so like, man, do they like the opposite sex? Like, and happy when they say, man, that boy cute. Oh, is he? Okay, yeah. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
You
But
know what
that's
though,
that's all.
Sean, and I think that a lot of times people view acceptance as agreement, right? I can accept that that's what you like and not agree with, the belief system, right? And so I think a lot of times people assume that just because you don't agree to something that you don't love them or you don't like them or what so have you. But yeah, do you? But why it shouldn't affect me, and I don't agree to it, and we should still be cool. Real friendships are based off of real people. It shouldn't be based off of total agreement on everything.
That's very fair.
Same friendship we're
That's
talking
very
about, though.
fair.
This is a relationship between child and parent.
And like, so your
So
child
this is
being raised by you already know, like, okay, the Bible says raise up a child in the way that they should go, right? So they know that you're not going for that. They know that, that's not something you agree with. And so if that's a choice that they make, they know the consequences. The same way a bank robber know, if I get caught doing this, oh, I'm going to jail. Like, this is not even a warning. There's no warning. That's not an option for me. I know the consequences if I decide to rob a bank. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same way that I have love for Lenny, even though he roots for Miami, right? And the way he still loves me, even though I root for FSU. Like, just because, like, that's never going to change between us, right? Like, he's still a good person, even though he roots for Miami, right? That don't make him a bad person. I don't agree with that at all, right? Not at all. I hate that about him. But I love this dude, man. That's him, right? And he really hates FSU, but he still love me. So it's like that at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Yeah.
bad boys for life.
bad boy for life.
I
Lenny,
wanted
you want to know the score of the game?
Hey, don't start with this, man.
look at him, he's so crazy. I wanted to run through these two. I don't want to spend too much time on these two, but little one hitter quitters and kind of just get this part out.
Breaking news, 8 possible terrorists, all foreign nationals arrested in New York, LA, and Philadelphia, and they came into the country across the southern border. CBS's Errol Barnett has new reporting on what led to the arrests.
8 individuals, all from the Central Asian country of Tajikistan, were arrested in Los Angeles, New York, and Philadelphia. They entered the United States this year and in 2023, crossing the Mexican border. They were vetted and allowed to remain in the country. CBS News has learned further investigation uncovered the men had possible ties to ISIS-K, the terror group which claimed responsibility for an attack at a Moscow concert hall that killed more than 140 people earlier this year. The FBI used a wiretap to track the men, and sources say what they discovered led authorities to quickly arrest them on immigration charges.
Typically, bringing individuals in on immigration-related charges is the quickest and easiest way to take individuals back into custody, but that does not rule out additional terrorism-related charges.
Yeah, so as we know, like the border has been one of the biggest topics in Biden's term right now. You know, he did put it down to $2,500 a month a day, but if you really look at it, they're still going past those numbers. And looking at $2,500 a day, times that by 365, and then you get crazy numbers. And seeing how we're able to have Chinese nationals come over, Tajikistan, and places like that.
Tajikistan.
Yeah, and if you ever do research on it, I'm not even gonna go there right now.
Tajikistan, man.
Yeah, you would get a lot of eyes being a black person there. I've never experienced that many eyes going to a foreign land than Tajikistan. But
I can only imagine, but they can come over here and it's like, yo, what up? You're bringing ISIS to town. You like what?
Right.
This is crazy.
So I wanted to
2,500 a day is wild.
2,500. That's the cap. So they say.
Even a quick look online can be hypnotizing, fast-paced, overwhelming. Chaos, many doctors say, contributing to the explosion of attention deficit disorders in the U.S. According to the CDC, more than 14 million Americans have ADHD, including close to 6 million children.
And when we're on screens, our brain is literally dumping dopamine, the neurotransmitter that is so important for focus.
Focus is something 11-year-old Clinton Pierce and his parents say he struggled with for years.
I could, be in a whole conversation, and then 5 seconds later, I could be like, oh, look at that LeBron painting.
Formerly diagnosed with ADHD and initially prescribed Adderall, the drug helped for about a month, they say, before actually making things worse.
So that's when we fully started to explore different options.
Landing on an option that, ironically, includes more screen time. It's called Mindy, a new treatment for ADHD, depression, addiction, insomnia, and other cognitive issues. And here's how it works. Using a neurofeedback headband in conjunction with an online video game, patients concentrate on moving a ball up a hill, increasing blood flow and providing more oxygen to the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for focus, attention, and emotion. The device, described as a gem for your brain, is endorsed by neuroscientists at Stanford, Princeton, and Lund, a research university in Sweden. And NASA is aiming to use Mindy as a part of its long-duration space flight mission later this year. A study conducted with the space agency shows astronauts using it during downtime have reported performance increases and say Mindy helps them manage the stress that comes with isolation and confinement, while other independent studies indicate the technology can be effective in treating ADHD. For Clinton, Mindy has struck the perfect chord.
It's helped me.
Yeah, so I see it like working for astronauts and things like that because they're obviously isolated and they're up there. But I think a lot of that stuff is the kids are inside and on the game. Like get outside and go ride a bike and go play street hockey, football, like things that we all I don't think you could just classify those. Oh, I don't want to, I'm paying attention to all of these types of things as ADHD.
Yeah, I got ADHD. It's tough, man. It's like it's it's tough, bro. It's tough. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you just be like, I was reading a book and I had to read something like 3 times.
Right.
And then I was like, on the 4th time, I was like, all right, now I'm locking in. I done read the same page, folks. I'm like, man, what's going on, man? Like,
right.
And
I don't think I ain't diagnosed, but I think I'm pretty sure I got a lot of that stuff.
I was diagnosed as a kid, man, and my parents tried to tell me I grew out of it. I was like, this ain't something you grow out of. You know what I'm saying? And then they just start beating my ass and I was like, like that was gonna take me out of it or something like that. And I'm like, nah, the doctor done told y'all I got a real problem.
Right.
It's like, nah, your problem. Yeah, I know your problem is, and I'm like, here we go. You know what I'm saying? So, but
yeah,
it's tough, man. It's tough to deal with.
Yeah, but I like to think too, though. It's all about what you really want to focus on as well, too. Sometimes, like,
yeah.
I do feel like if it was something, a short movie, or if it was something that you was really interested in, I think it's a little bit easier to focus on that. And
yeah, no, that's the easy part. The hard part is focusing on like the things that you need to focus on.
Right.
Like so because it's easy for any of us to focus on hobbies, what we want to focus on.
Right. But do you think that focus like I would like to think that's everyone, like 100% of the humans on Earth, thing that they, that they can't focus on, right? So it's just like whether it's studies or whatever the case may be. I feel like everyone has that struggle where it's just like, yo, I don't want to read this or I don't want to watch this, and some of us do better than others to lock in. And I like to look at it as discipline, but I could be wrong because I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not trained in it, but I I think a lot because there's a lot of times right now you could probably diagnose me with that, but at the same time, like I like to think that I can lock in and so I don't know what that actually the diagnosis really means though, because I feel like that's everyone's problem, majority, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's fair. It's fair. I mean, I could explain it, but I don't have the focus to.
Shut up.
Oh, see how we just proved my little point, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Nah, that's wild. That's wild. I would tell you, but I only got 5 seconds to lock in.
For real, bro.
After mounting criticism that platforms aren't doing enough to protect young users from sexual exploitation, tonight Meta announcing it's testing new tools for Instagram to prevent sextortion or coercing someone into sharing an intimate photo, then blackmailing them to keep it private. Antigone Davis is Meta's global head of safety.
We will be using technology and signals to identify potentially suspicious sextortion accounts and try to prevent them from messaging with minors. We're focused on intimate images.
She gave us an exclusive look at how it would work. If a user receives a nude image, it would be blurred at first. They'll also get this message: don't feel pressure to respond. The sender will be prompted to reconsider and given an option to unsend. This tool automatically turned on for users under 18. They'll also direct users to a service called Take It Down, which helps minors remove intimate images of themselves online. The announcement comes after this stunning moment with Mark Zuckerberg on Capitol Hill.
The whole thing is a dog and pony show.
Mary Rohde was there. She says just hours after her son Riley was a victim of sexploitation on Facebook, he took his own life.
I think it's a PR stunt all around to make parents think that their kids are safe on Meta. Overall, none of this is a tool that would have saved Riley or the next child.
Why should parents believe that you care more about their child than Meta's bottom line?
Well, I guess what I would want parents to know is that I'm a parent. We care deeply about providing a safe, age-appropriate, positive experience. I also want them to know, even if they have lingering doubts, is that it's not in our business interest for teens or anybody else to have an unsafe experience on our platform.
Even if in your business interest is to have more users?
Yeah, a bad experience will make people leave our platform.
The tool isn't available to users yet, but Meta says they're working towards that. Savannah Sellers, NBC News, Washington.
Yeah, so if you look, sextortion is definitely on the rise with teens. A lot of cases are with teenage boys sending nudes on Instagram and Facebook, and then finding out that it's like a bot or one of those terrorist type of organizations that tries to bribe the teen. It definitely seems like they could do more because I would just say just block it completely for users under 18. They shouldn't have the the choice to pick yes or no if they want to send a nude photo. So I definitely think there's ways that they can secure teenagers even more.
That's scary, man.
I don't like the internet.
Yeah, and that's the thing where you kind of look at it like I said, we all have kids, and that's one of the things that they want to have, and the social medias and things like that, and it really is a dangerous place because, hey, we was all 15, 14, 16 years old, and
All we had was chat lines.
Yeah, chat
rooms and
and
AOL dial up.
Right. Them chat rooms.
You had to choose whether you wanted to be on the phone or the computer.
Right.
Age, state, and location.
Right. So, yeah, it's it's a dangerous thing. Do you think that they should just do you think that the rules that they put in place is good enough, or do you think that
you gotta try some? You gotta start somewhere.
Right. Oh, that's one of them venomous spiders?
Bruh. Johnson crawled up in them Reeboks, huh?
Oh, man.
Boy, I got one of them spiders in here. Yo, hey, this is live.
This is the season. Yeah.
This is live. Don't act a donkey, because it will get clipped.
No, I don't care about the clip. Shoot.
I care about my life.
Yeah, clip me.
I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah. I'm fighting for my life. Said I whole time. I don't know how to hold down somebody.
Yo, hey, dog.
Hold
Hey,
on.
hey, free my boy. Free my boy.
Free my boy. Yo, what if one of them things would have came across your lap just now?
Bro, I'm holding a weapon right now, bro. Like, I'm not about to, you know what I'm saying? I'm obviously not dumb enough to put it on camera, but bro, it'll be a shootout in this mug, bro.
You shooting at the spider, bro?
Man, what? It's gonna shoot at me.
In the house, you gonna dump at the spider? Yeah, I told
like
you,
a dump truck.
Florida ain't a real place, man. Florida, whatever happened to a sandal?
Man, they can fly, bro, and they got venom.
Yeah.
Yo, Els.
Yeah.
I wanna touch up on the last video. So I think that, you know, me and you been talking about like homeschool and stuff like that in the past. And I would have to say like the whole, like they was talking about like paying attention and stuff like that. And you know, they wanna name things, and you know, I think it's worse now because there's laptops and computers and cell phones now. So the attention span is like crazy when it comes to our kids. When I was in school, I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have none of those things. And I still, you know, it was still, I had to pay attention. So I said that to say this. I believe that the schools, and I don't know if Kathy is on here because I know, you know, she deals with students and stuff like that. But I know that the schools, there's only so many ways that you can learn, or the way they want you to learn. It's like 7 different styles of learning. And with those 7 different styles, I think they only want you to be able to learn like 1 or 2 styles in school systems. So anything beyond those 2, you're gonna need special assistance. You're gonna need all of these different things, and you're gonna be deemed special ed. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is not fair because you learn a different way. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of wanted to say that because, like what Rob was saying, like y'all gotta, you know, read it 3 times. And the thing about it is, I believe everything's spiritual because, you know, I will truly say this. There've been times where I've been in church and I'm thinking about what me and my wife did the night before. Why is it that I'm not focused on the pastor? Is that a learning disability? No, it's not. What is that, Rob? What's wrong with me? Do I have a disability? It's nothing wrong with
We
me.
all got it. We all got it. We was born in the 80s. We messed up, Jack.
Listen. I was gonna throw out that be careful, right? But I let you land with it, right? when you were saying, I was thinking about what I was doing tonight. Now, obviously, not being able to pay attention in church, bro, that's happened to me too. Like,
yeah,
I think we all can
it'll
relate
put you
there.
to sleep.
I'm talking about as an
It'll
adult.
put you to sleep.
I'm talking about
And
as an
then
adult.
soon as after the sermon is over, I'm ready to walk to Africa, dog. Like, I got all the energy in the world. It's just like, but I'm getting pinched repeatedly in church. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting pinched, getting my head smacked, getting thumped and all this stuff like that. I'm like, I can't focus. It's the same thing in class, except in class I can bump Lenny and be like, you know.
Yo,
and
that's the thing though, Rob. Like, you know, it's like you like, I think that people only looking at it from one perspective. It's
Right.
not, you don't have these letters. You don't have, what is it, ADD or SPP or whatever it is. You don't have that.
Careful.
That's not what you have.
Right.
You have to truly discipline yourself and really use the word to get your flesh in line, because it's the enemy. The enemy is putting these things in your head so you won't focus. Like
Right. Okay.
that's what he's doing. He's doing that. Yo, I'm telling you. And he do it in school, he do it in church. You know what I'm saying? He do it wherever he know where if you pay attention, you can be dangerous. So I'm gonna get Rob to not pay attention in school so he can get A's, and then his parents, his guardians, he come home with these C's and D's, and they hitting on him. Now he's getting frustrated. Now he can't focus because now he want to do the best he can. But what if I mess up? And now if I mess up, then they're gonna beat me. And now you thinking about all these things in your head.
My parents
It's the
hate.
truth.
Both of my parents are teachers, dog. They were like, bro, you're embarrassing us. All right?
Man, you was getting your head bust open.
You're going to school and embarrassing us, dog. I brought a report card home with all C's and a D one time. And they were like, bro, tell me this is a joke. And I was like,
my mother would have put that joint on the fridge. We'd have went to Chuck E. Cheese. We'd have went to Chuck E. Cheese about that. I might have got a couple dollars and everything about that one.
Then Sean, what make it so bad is, bro, my younger sister was so smart, bro. She made her first B senior year and cried and got the teacher to change it to an A.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
said,
man.
You just said somebody was.
I used to lie about my report card.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we get you.
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, delays. I don't know what.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Sean. I used to bring the report card home so bad that joint right there would have made the fridge.
Yo, son, I'm with you. What? 3 C's and a D? Oh man, baby, we going
All
to Red
C's
Lobster.
and a D.
Oh, we going to Chuck E. Cheese. I might get a pair of Jordans about this.
They wasn't going for that.
For sure.
I'm getting my ribs barbecued for that.
Yo, son.
Right. So
what?
All I had to do was cry and say it was the best I could do.
Right. Yeah. So
yeah.
Not to. I don't really want to touch on. I would say this. I think people learn differently, right? And I think the structure of school doesn't always allow people to be creative in their learning ways, right? And kind of like what you talked about, I think it is a get in and get out, get the lessons in the 55 minutes that they have, and then you kind of go. And a lot of it is, filler classes, and it's we're structured in the 8-hour, work system. But if you really look at a lot of corporate jobs, and when you become in a leadership role, you're not really working, full blown the 8 hours of what it needs to be focused. A lot of times that you're only really spending maybe an hour or two of like maximum focus at the work. And I don't know how they could create something like that in the school system, because it's obviously a system, and teachers got to get paid for 8 hours, and you have 40-hour work weeks and things like that. So and it's shown that people can do good in that type of system. I just think that we need to I guess look at different ways that we can we can raise our kids, especially in our types of communities where other types of education avenues is not really talked about or um, you know praised, because a lot of times we look down, especially previously we look down on people that take a different type of route or tease them, things like that, if they went to private school or they went to Catholic Christian school, or if they was homeschooled, they was most likely the ones that was kind of teased, or and just for us, like, not having enough knowledge as parents now to understand that that's a possibility, you know, for us if we see one of our kids struggling, or not even to get to the point of start them from young in different types of alternative school systems and things like that. I think in this day and age we should always not say a buck against the system, because you know it's the goal is not to be a rebel, but the goal is to kind of think like, why are we doing it this way for this long, and is there another productive way that I could do this and parent and show my kids, or different things like that. If we always talk about the rat race and never really look at the rat race for what it is, and how to actually get out of it, and then we all get out of it at 60 years old, like, well, then you never really got out of the rat race, you just retired from it. So so like a lot of times, like, we always talk about it, oh man, I'm tired, Monday here, or um you know this, that, and the third about the rat race, but we never really put enough pressure on it, and figuring out ways that we can even bring our kids up to where they're not so focused on the rat race per se.
So so can I just I wanna say this, because you make a good point, but I think that there is a caveat to that.
Right.
And I say that because the mindset of everyone is totally different, right? So, for example, let's just use us four brothers on here, okay? Me, you, Rob, Bug, okay? Let's say we come together, we sit down at the table, and we say, okay, we're gonna put our money together, we're gonna put all our resources together. Um, we're gonna do all of this stuff, right? We're gonna get our kids in some type of homeschool, or we're gonna do things different. You know, I got your back, you got my back, so forth, right? No diddy. So now this is the raw. So this is the thing. This is the thing, though. The way that Rob or Boogie might raise their kids is totally different from me, because it takes a village to raise, right? That's what the old people used to say, which I do believe. But the village is so corrupt, and you got molesters in a village, and you got all these different people in it. You don't really have a village no more, right? So you got yourself doing so much stuff that it's like you don't have time to even help your child with homework, because you're working 60 hours a month. I mean, 60 hours a week, trying to make ends meet, so forth and so forth. But if you all come together and do this together, it will work. But what happens when Rob is now on Kid Watch and he talks to my daughter a certain way that I don't like?
Right.
What happens when I talk to Boogie's son and I say, yo, sit down. And he don't like the tone in which I use.
Right.
So now we got a problem. We have division within the village. So now Boogie is gonna be like, you know what? I don't even need this no more. I knew this wasn't gonna work. He goes the other way. Rob was like, you know what? Since he left, I'm leaving. And it's like you know what? I'm gonna leave too. So now the village is divided. So I just believe that it has to be a one accordness. That's even a thing. I don't know if that's a word, but it has to be a one accordness that somebody has to sit down and just think about the next 5 years and how we can do this. And I would be down for that. What is your discipline techniques, and because we have to look out for each other. Like I might have to be gone and you might have to watch my daughters. I have to trust you to watch my daughters. You got to trust me to watch your daughters, because that's the only way we'll be able to do this together. Save money. Mexicans do it all the time. Africans, Asians, they do it all the time, and they branch out. So they have a so many year plan, then they branch out, then they branch out, then they branch out. So how can we fix this, Lenny?
So I would like to say black people do it as well. I wanna shout out to my black people, because it really is kind of like how you say mindset, right? So it starts with the individual first. Like, I'm not going to look at you until I check myself, right? Until I have my mindset where the bottom line needs to go. And we'll just stay right here with the conversation and then end with the last words. But so yeah, that's a good question, man. Because black people, we love to look at outside of our race and be like, oh, well, kind of just like you said, oh, the Mexicans do it, the Indians do it, all of these types of people. If you go on social media right now, you can see black family compounds and black families homeschooling, whatever you're looking for. Black people are doing it. Black farmers, black ranchers. Is there. It starts with us. It starts with our household and how we're raising our kids, right? So for me, like, in trusting in you, right? I have to first put that trust in myself, and then first put that trust into my kids, to not necessarily put you in a situation to where you are even having to discipline them in a manner that may not see fit, right? But also too, like, if we're coming from the same cloth, just like if we're under the umbrella of whatever type of religion or whatever the case may be, the the standard, right? So that's the thing. We don't really have a doctrine, a standard that we live off of, that we go off of. So it's hard to even start talking about that type of stuff until you get like your house in, in order. And I'm not saying be at the finish line, right? You have to you have to have the gear ready, like the mindset, because I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, training your family is one of the hardest things that men will ever have to do in life. You know, and I stand by that, because if you man, being
Are you
alone.
talking about just in general?
Yes. So, and I'm gonna break it down for you. Being a lone ranger out here, being able to, you know, I was just having a conversation. Like, man, a lot of things without your family, um, would be, yeah, it would be easier. Like, life would be easier in the standpoint of not having to deal with um, different minds and getting people to do what you basically want, right? So and that's what I mean easier. Easier don't mean better, right? So
It means easier. Yeah.
it just means easier. Being able to just take care of myself, I would probably only need X amount of dollars. Being able to take care of a family and possibly wanting to grow a family or whatever the case may be, obviously that's going to take more money, right? And then you just look at, whatever doctrine that you're trying to instill, the discipline and things like that. Like we talked about before, they're not many use. Like, as much as you want them to be, they're not gonna like everything you like. They're not gonna want to listen to everything that you say, and a little bit of that is gonna be the bucking against the system, right? Especially when they get of age, when they feel like they want some independence and want to experience life for themselves. And, so you have to maneuver around what that looks like, right? So it's it's not tough, but I don't think the average black person, if we're speaking on our community, wants to get out of the rat race. We don't really want to better our lives, I feel like.
I think so. My manager hit me up today and he said, "Hey, I need you to download this and your schedule will be on the app." And I said, "Okay, no problem." Well, he told me to download the app, but he never told me how to get in the app. And I believe that is it. I think people want to get out, but they don't know how. So they get the first step, but it's like 20 more steps after that. And I think because they don't know those steps, yes, it is researchable,
Right.
but I think that it's so hard, they just lose focus and they continue to stay in a rat race and try to see if it's any shortcuts to get to the finish line.
And you put it right on the head, right? If it goes back to like what we said. If there's something that you want to watch, if it's a movie that just came out, the Avengers just came out, you're gonna watch that 2 hour movie, right? But if it's a movie that your old lady want to watch, it's a chick flick, you're like, yo, I'm falling asleep soon as I get into bed, right? Cause you're not, cause you don't really care, right? You're not focused on that. That's not your thing. So I do feel like if we sit here and talk about the rat race and how we want to get out of it, but we're spending most of our researchable time, our good brain power on big booty hoes, um, just going through social media and just scrolling and not actually writing stuff down, right? So like a lot of times I can sit here and say like, man, tomorrow I want to research um, Project 25, right? And have a conversation about it. And if it's an importance to me, I'm gonna write it down. And sometimes I don't even have to write it down because it's gonna be so much on my mind in the morning time that like, man, that's the first thing that I'm searching. And honestly, too, like, yes, we do have distractions um, that we have to deal with, but there's nothing saying that you have to have those distractions. How many times a year do you just, and this is just rhetorical, that you deactivate your social medias? You know, hey, I need a cleanse for 30 days. Let me lock in. Like, I'm not saying that you just gotta be this monk and get rid of it. No, let's live. But if you're not like challenging yourself, like, yo, I need a detox, 15 days, 30 days, 45 days, whatever the case may be, you're not so focused on getting out of the rat race. And that's just what it is. And then, like, a lot of times the rat race is just our lifestyle that we're just trying to keep up with, right? It's oh, okay, well, you say you're not doing it for the culture or the next man, but it's like, do you really need that new whatever it is if the old thing works? Do you need new shoes, new clothes, new car, a new house, whatever that may be? So I don't think that, and like I said, like, the average black person that we come across is not focused enough on getting out of the rat race and what fulfills you, right? Because a lot of times we don't even know what fulfills us in life as a grown adult.
So yeah, I totally agree with you. But so I want to do some numbers, right?
Okay.
So I was watching this, and
Fellas, I gotta
you
get out of
know,
here tonight, man.
Yep, go ahead, man.
you
Love
out,
y'all, man.
Rob?
Yeah, man, I
Love you,
gotta get out of
man.
here, bro. Peace out,
Be
bro.
safe, yo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love you, bro. All right.
All right. So Lenny, I was watching this in reference to African Americans leaving a inheritance. Okay. 75% of African Americans do not leave a inheritance. All right. There's 41.57 million African Americans in the United States. 50% of that is around 20 million. So 20% of 20% of 20 million is I want to say 10 million, if I'm doing it right. 20% 20% of 20 million. What's that?
20% of 20 million. Okay. Get my calculator. I ain't trying to do no mental math right now. But
So whatever number.
I would think it's like 8%, 5%, but let me.
Okay, so like 8 million. Like, all right, so probably around like 8 million. 8 million. So around 8 million African Americans only leave inheritance out of 41 million African Americans. So I said that to say this. I don't believe and this is the thing about it. Out of that, these are church people as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that sometimes we justify not having with being spiritually rich. And I don't believe that the Lord want us to only be spiritually rich.
100%.
I believe that he wants us to be financially wealthy and also spiritually wealthy. So I think that there's a lack of teaching and a lack of understanding when it comes to the body of Christ, because we should have way more than we do. Like you said, do you dress for people or do you dress for yourself? When you put on those Yeezys, you got them Yeezys because you really like those Yeezys, or you got those Yeezys because everybody got those Yeezys? You put on that hat because you like that hat, or you put in that hat because you want to make a statement. So it's a heart posture in which you have to really check yourself and see, why are you spending this money? What is it about you having the latest things? Because at the end of the day, if you go somewhere like Africa and you wear that stuff, they don't know what you're wearing, so you're nobody out there.
Yeah, a lot of times people are not going to places outside of their culture, and that's why, like, they are rich inside of their culture, you know. And and so I don't know if I believe that, you know, God, like, intended for everyone to be rich though, or wealthy.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
So the Bible say, so in the scripture it talks about, let me just pull it up. He said, all right, so Jeremiah 29 and 11. We do. I totally agree. Jeremiah 29 and 11. Let me find that. 29 and 11. My phone is running super slow. But basically, he said, I know the plans that I have for you. Plans for you to prosper. Plans for you to be, you know,
Yeah, like, you know, kind of just looking at it, you know, when you talk about, like, spiritual, you know, richness,
right.
and just worldly riches, right? A lot of it is just, you know, discipline, and we really are chasing culture. We sit here and say we're not,
Absolutely.
but you it's funny because, like, I've even done it myself. It's just like you're doing it, like, we're doing it for the culture, and you can't tell me otherwise, you know. A lot of times, you know, we don't realize that, like, debt is a thing that we can get rid of, and live a more fruitful life, right? And that's why I talked about the lifestyle thing, where we're 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 needing to make all of this money because of our lifestyle. So, in order to, you know, make a lot of money, unless you just have a high paying type of salary job, right? You have to spend time away from, you know, your family. And so, like, a lot of times people talk about, oh, you know, 200,000, you know, 150, 100,000, and things like that, and still have a poverty mindset, or still in the rat race because of their lifestyle. So it's just like, once that $100,000, you know, job, you know, you get laid off, or, you know, you hurt your knee, and you're out of work, if you don't have, you know, systems set in place at your job, then what does that look like? You know, um, yeah, like I said, I don't think people even know what fulfills them in life. You know, a lot of times it's because you don't have time to think about what's fulfilling, because you done put yourself in this lifestyle to where it's hard to get out. And that's the rat race that we don't realize. Like the lifestyle is the rat race.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree. And the thing about it is, you said something that was real good, because I try not to think about it, because I mean, I have thought about it, but it's like with my wife, and having kids and stuff like that. Like, if they wasn't there, where would I be? You know what I'm saying? Financially. But I do understand, because I have a wife, I have got favor, according to the scripture, and I can see that I got favor. But I will say this: if like you said, one of the hardest things is to really change the mindset of your family. It's like, it's like me. I haven't talked to you, but I just fell miserably last week, as far as eating is concerned. But it's like eating anything you wanted to eat for 40 years, and now you're trying to eat healthy. It's really hard.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the same thing with changing the mindset. I told my wife, I said, hey, baby, listen, yo, if we can just like not spend anything, like, I know you want your nails done, I know you want that, I know you want this, but if we can not spend anything that we don't truly need, like no clothes, we just wear whatever we got, we just make it work for the next 3 years. I can't do that. Why can't you do that? Because what you being uncomfortable now can set you up for 10 years of being comfortable. So why not just be uncomfortable now for the next 5 years to be comfortable for the next 15 years? And now that we're older, it's no longer about you anyway. It's about the kids. You know what I'm saying? But the mindset is like, yo, I need my manicure. I need my eyebrows. I need this. I need that. I need this. I need that. I need that. And I get it. I totally get it. Because I don't want you around here looking like Teen Wolf. You know what I'm saying? But yet and still, I want us to keep our eye on the prize. You know what I'm saying? So what you said was really good, because it's really hard to shift that mindset. And then looking at like some of the videos that you saw, I was just quiet because you kind of messed me up this year with the whole, somebody will really take your life and just appreciate it to the fullest. Like, somebody will really take your life, pay money for your life. You know, you got a good life and you don't even realize it. You need to realize what you have. There's somebody else worse off, way worse off. You can't complain about your life. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm looking at, the boys being in a cage, and it's like, why even have kids? It was a lot of things that was going in my head when you were showing these certain videos today, because it was like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. So yeah, that's all I got, Lenny. I just want to say that because that was changing the mindset.
Yeah, it's tough. The the changing of a mindset when you feel like it's the betterment of your family, and what you feel like you know God has tasked you with. It's tough to bring it full circle, right? Like, it's easy to just sit here and say like, yeah, I got my family to um, you know do this and just listen to me. It doesn't work like that, because they their own person, and understandably so. And that's why a lot of times you have to really look at scripture and understand what submit really is, and what does fulfillment like I said, I just feel like a lot of people don't have time to kind of slow down and understand like what makes me happy, like what makes me fulfilled, like have I served this year, and just simple things like that we just wake up Monday through Friday and we live our life, and then Saturday we try to unwind, and Sunday we're getting back to the rat race, and a lot of times you don't even realize that you didn't spend any time outdoors, you know. But like, what do you think when the Bible talks about a man should leave an inheritance? What does that look like?
So I think that it can be a number of things, not just land and property, but I do think that it means to leave the word of God, like what you have taught that person, along with, maybe finances, maybe land, maybe, houses or whatever the case is, some type of investment so they can live, and they can do the same thing, a business. I think that's what that looks like. And I believe that's what the Lord was saying, because if you read all through the Old Testament, there was inheritance leaving. People have, I mean, Jacob, he gave up his birthright, you know what I'm saying, for soup. You know what I'm saying? So it was always an inheritance, and that inheritance was not only the word of God, it was a physical thing. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe that we need to leave them something. Now, this is the beautiful thing about, I'm just trying to get into the financial realm and just try to learn some things, because a life insurance policy is great. I think that's a beautiful thing. That's the first step. But I don't believe that kids or young adults that never had money, I think if they get a lump sum of money, they would not do the right thing. So I would put it in a trust and give them certain types of money every 5 years or whatever the case is. So if they do something stupid with the money, the first 5 years, they can know the second 5 years, oh, I can't do that again. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I just believe that we have to be smart with what we do, because, yeah, I don't want my kids to be lazy because I did all the hard work. You know what I'm saying? And now they just doing whatever they want to do. No, I want them to be responsible. I want them to be business ladies. I tell them now, jobs are temporary. Jobs are not forever. I said a job is making someone else's dream come true. And I say, you need to start working on what it is that the Lord has given you and the vision in which the Lord has given you. Because I know you are entrepreneurs. So you're not going to work a 9 to 5 until you're 60 years old. And then when you turn 60, it's like you just surviving, and then you got like 10 years left, and then you die and you don't even enjoy life. No, that's not what God wants. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to say this, I'm going to shut up. The Bible never talks about a job. If you ever think about it, the Bible never talks about a job. The Bible talks about work. Work and a job is totally different. And I've been praying that God will give me work, not a job. I don't want another job. I want to be able to work. I want to be able to put my own talents to use and get paid for that thing. If it's cooking, okay, cool. I'll cook. If it's doing a podcast, talking like this right here, I can do this all day. I don't even care if I don't get paid, because I'm sharing information, and we're conversing, and this is fun to me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's what I think it looks like. To go back to the original question, yes, leaving something, also the word of God, but also leaving something for them to prosper off of.
Yeah, that's a good. I like that. Because I that's something that I talk about a lot. It's just like, because I used to always think that it was a financial thing, right? And then when I really started having conversations with the man upstairs a little bit more, and I'm starting to understand that it's not just a money thing. It's a lifestyle thing. It's more to it than just saying like, "Hey, I left you a house. I left you money." Because a lot of times we've seen that, people will get a house and just, sell it, or people get money and, 5 years later it's gone. But understanding the term "teach a man how to fish," um, and just those things. I think we was I don't think I told you, but like, I look at inheritance now as having my kids wake up every morning and give like a morning devotion, right? And
Amen.
that's one of the biggest things that homeschooling teaches you, right? Like, if you look at a lot of those programs, it's morning devotion, 10 minutes. And it's just like, I was having a conversation with Keish. It's just like, how many times have you ever been taught, or you seen a program that said like, "Hey, morning devotion"? Like, do you see that at school? And it's no knock at schools. Like, I don't want to get into this like homeschooling, school debate which one's better, because they all are good. They've all produced good, citizens in this world, right? But I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of the program itself. It's just like understanding like that is what is going to be able to like start their day. When like I wake up a lot of days um where I'm just like, yo, I don't feel it. Like, my sleep is really bad because I wear the CPAP or whatever. And, just other mental things that I deal with, but just understanding like that morning devotion, it helps. It ain't always going to take it away, of course, like,
Right.
but it gives you a tool to like, hey, kickstart your day, instead of like okay, like what do most of us do? We get on Instagram or things like that, and it goes back to the focus part. And then before you know it, we didn't have a conversation with God until lunchtime. And
That's
it's
right.
just it's just like,
That's right.
shoot, like I you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's just like things like that is what I'm really starting to look at, as an inheritance, and just understanding that. So one thing that, man, like you trying to dig deep in my brain right now, but one thing that like I be thinking about a lot is just like when we start talking about devotion, right? And having a conversation with God, and just being in tuned with the way of the world, and what's going on, right? So most people in the know of the know understand that the world is going to change very soon, right? But what are we doing about it though? It's just like, how it's just like understanding that like COVID was a time that that type of space, right, wasn't seen for the last time we had something like that, to my knowledge, was the Spanish flu, like 1918. So I'm not saying that we're gonna have a shutdown, of course, but you just never know. And like a lot of us are talking on airways and knowledge about like, hey, yeah, like the world is gonna look different, and look at COVID, and look, but still not living life as it's going to happen, right? So what does that mean? That means still going on elaborate vacations when you could have possibly saved that money and just went somewhere chill, or possibly making purchases that may not look feasible right now. You know, I think we all need to like really take a step back, right? And my biggest thing that I've been looking at is just the service part. Like, how can I spend my time and my resources? You know, mainly my resource, mainly my time, and like giving back, like in like tilling the land or something like that. Because a lot of times we look at this ADHD, right? It's because we don't really have work to do. So we have so much idle time. Back in the days, you know, like if you really look at it, like examples of Adam, right? Like God needed to tag somebody in for Adam. Like he had so much work, right? So it's just like nowadays that the average man doesn't have that much work because, you know, we don't have to do, you know, we don't even have to go to the grocery stores. We could just dial it up and somebody's gonna come. So we have so much idle time to where we are not focused on the task at hand. And the task at hand is preparing, you know, our lives and, you know, the next generation life. So like
Yeah.
that's just something that I think about. Is just like how much time are we wasting and how much like of our resources are we using that could be for a different cause. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. And yeah, I agree with you. Um I think that some people don't get it until they see it.
Right. Right.
Which is not good,
Right.
but those are some people. And I really need God to help me with this area, and I'm being transparent
Yeah.
because if I'm saving up things and getting rice and beans and all of these things, and I told you to do it too, and you said no, but when it's that time that you need something, you come to me, I'm gonna be very mad
Right.
because I told you to stack up. I told you let's come up with an idea so we can put money to the side and we can do this together. But you didn't want to do this.
Right.
So now that something happened, now you need food and you come to me.
Yeah.
So I need help with that. I'll be totally honest with you.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
because you knew better and you didn't do better.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a tough one for sure. But that's from the beginning of the time, people not taking heed to the word, right?
right.
But like even for me, like us with kids, with how the world is changing, for them to be able to afford a house may look totally different from when you was able to buy a house or 10 years ago. So it's even things like that that we need to be wary of we may need to help, you know, our kids get into a home and things like that. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
and the thing about it is like I remember when I heard, well, my I don't think my parents really did it like that. My stepfather and my mother really didn't do that, but I have always heard when you get 18, you getting out of here.
Right.
When you get 18, you're getting out of here. And, you know, I don't think that's fair, especially not now, right? So I think that, you know, when you talk about, I remember having a dream like a couple of weeks ago. And I do believe something is coming. It's not going to be a disease this time, but it's really going to affect us.
Yeah.
It's really going to affect us. And I just had a dream. Yeah, like cell towers, Wi-Fi, all of that stuff fell. Something happened. Satellite went offline, and we had no nothing. And yeah. So I said that to say this. I just believe that people need to move like if it's happening. You know what I'm saying? And if it doesn't happen in a time you think it was supposed to happen, then you just got more that you can save.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, and for me, like time is a thing that you shouldn't even worry about, right? Like because we don't know time, you know, for anything. Uh, so the way that you get, the way that you should look at time is like, oh shoot, tomorrow, you know, and I just kind of go back to finding your fulfillment, finding your purpose, and I think that will help a lot of people. I think that you know we get into this circle of life, right, and then it's like we know how to slow down and live life fruitfully, but the tug that certain things, material things, give to our life, those status symbols, they're hard to pass up because of how it makes you feel, the euphoria around it, you know, how you look, you know, in other people's eyes, right? You know, that's why we do buy certain items and things like that, is because of how it makes us feel and how in turn people view us, you know, with those material things. And then like with anything, you know, you get it, you wear it out, and then it's just like, okay, well, that's just a X whatever material thing that is. And I like I like to challenge myself enough to be like, man, do I really need this, or why do I want this? Like, it's okay to have wants and you know get your wants, but it's just like, why do I want this? And a lot of times too, it's like you can't even quote unquote stunt the way you want to because you don't want to pull people away. So it's just like I have this X thing and people feel less inclined to come to me, right? Because I look like I'm too much on top. And so a person that's at the bottom struggling with something, they may look at me like, man, this dude can't even relate to me because of the image that I'm portraying. When like the image possibly should be something different, right? You know, what
So do you believe you can have that image and still look like, do you believe that you can have that image and still look apart to the to that class that you're talking about? Because confidence
yeah,
is totally different from a Gucci sandal.
correct.
You can have confidence and have some Fila sandals on, and
Correct.
people will still not come to you because it's like, oh, he's cocky.
Mm. I think I think that I think a person with humility is able to reach majority people, not not less. Like most people he will be able to reach because of his humility. And um the dressing thing, sure, it, that's to be debated, but the clothes don't necessarily make the person. It's how you act within that. And yes, you can have confidence, but I think that if you have the spirit of serving people, and people feel comfortable, with you, and because this is how your actions, this is how you've been, you know, acting right around people. Like people see that. Like people are not just looking at a person because they ride a nice whip and have all the Gucci's and things like that. It's really how they've been observing you. And if they feel like they can't come to you, it's probably for a reason. Like, yeah, sometimes like we can't reach everyone. I get that. Um but I would like to think that you can reach um uh, I don't think there's just a set type of person you're here to like minister to, right? Like that's like me saying that because of my mindset, right? A thinker, and some may look at it as like, oh, bucking the system or radical. I can only minister to those types of people. I don't believe that. Like humility makes you able to, you know, talk to different walks of life. And so I look at people that feel like, they can't. And when I say look at people, I wonder what makes them think that they can't, kind of come to everybody, or um, they like to say, Jesus, you know, did minister to everybody and things like that. But I think we can be, I think the goal is to be Christ-like, and try to be closest to Christ. But certain things we got to put context in it on certain avenues. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I do agree. Yeah, I agree. I just, I really, hmm,
Because like
yeah,
even when you see like preachers and stuff like that go up to a person totally different, right? I think we've even shared, videos. It's like, how is that even possible? It's the humility in them. Like it's the empathy, like, the passion in helping, saving souls, and things like that. Um, a lot of times, we
yeah,
can find ourselves on our high horse because we're not we have fortune in life, right? We have
yeah,
a lot of privilege that a lot of people don't have, and we don't think
yeah.
about that.
No,
We don't think about that often.
no, we don't. We don't. We really don't. And I try to keep that in the front of my mind all the time, because even though I might have some struggles in life,
Right.
like I'm still better off compared to some people. And I'm so grateful for that, because the only thing that separates me from them is literally he just didn't put me in that area. That's it. That's the only thing. I could have been easily I could have been easily like Jacob down the street or John around the corner.
Right. And
I,
a lot of times we just gotta understand that a lot of this stuff is self inflicted that we did to ourselves. So it's
yes, yes.
like I can't be mad because I ran up $200,000 of credit card debt and then be like, oh Lord, what you did this to yourself,
Yeah,
this is the consequence that
yeah,
and
yeah,
now you have to put in extra work because of
yeah,
your decisions,
yeah, yeah. I mean, and a lot come from decisions. Some don't. Like the video you showed, those little boys or girls or whoever, like they have a trauma now. I don't know if they got cable in their name. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain avenues, certain things they're just gonna have to go through that they deck is totally different from someone else that might have had the ability to do more. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't negate the fact that you can still win. You know what I'm saying? And just I believe that, how can I say this? I believe that you have to be humble for sure. I totally agree with you. You have to have the spirit of discernment, so you can discern certain spirits, because they will try to use you. But also, you got to get to a place where it's no longer really about you. It's more about what Christ wants you to do with the resources that you have. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I heard this story about this guy. He just kept hitting brick walls, like one after another, financial trouble. And it was like, my man had the money to help him, and he helped him. And he said, the only reason I helped him is because I know how that feel to seem like you're lying to someone, but you're not, because these barriers just keep getting in your way. Like the enemy is just trying to defeat you. You pay electric bill, then turn around, the tire is flat. Then you get the tire flat, then you turn around and the hot water heater bust all over the house. And it's like one after another, and it's like you have to be able to lend your resources, help people, no matter what. So the humbleness is definitely a part. And I think that some people will prejudge you based on where you're from, and also what you look like, if that makes sense.
No, I got you. I definitely got you. Um, yeah, that's definitely something that I think about often, and just understanding, where life takes you and the decisions that you make are not for right now. It's for, you know, 6 months, a year, 3 years down the road. And a lot of those decisions that we make, for the right now because they feel good, right? And then 2 years down the road, it's just like, dang, why did I even do that? You know. So and and I would say that's the trauma, right? That's the trauma that we may have experienced um, in our younger years, or something that we went through as an adult. Just so it. But it comes a time where you have to overcome. Like I said before, it's just you can't keep making the same mistakes and then expecting like something, a better outcome, and kind of just putting it on like a yeah, I can't speak too much right now, but yeah, it's some things that yeah, let me just, because I don't want to.
Yo, hit me up later, man. I know this
Yeah,
is the end, so
yeah,
I
yeah.
just want to say thank you for just allowing me to get on, and it's a blessing. I'm looking at my clock on Sundays, and I'm like, oh man, no Sundays.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, something that it's funny. Certain things happen, and it was a pullback. I feel like it was something that, because I was in the notion of like, I'm just gonna keep pumping and keep. I wanted to add a day, right? Like I wanted to go Sunday, Wednesday, Fridays. Like because I do enjoy the aspect of good conversation and putting stuff out there. Um, but I really felt like the pullback was needed for certain things, and especially like personal stuff on my end, making sure get situated and getting some more outside time, and certain things that eventually I'll be able to talk about on camera, but we can talk about it off camera right now until it comes fruition. I don't want to speak too much on it, um, but yeah, it's funny how uh, things happen and you want it this way, but for the it's almost just like a tweak where it's just like, no, I think you need to roll with it this way, and this is how I felt about this, and it hurted me a little bit sometimes. It's just like, dang man, I could have a show, like, can I just do a pop-up show? And just like, no, I think this is what's needed right now. So we just gonna continuously rock with it right now, and
Yeah, definitely be led by the Holy Ghost, man. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. You actually, because I was looking at how many you done so far. Yo,
right,
you've been putting in that work, son. You just started.
right,
What
right.
episode is this?
33, I believe. Yeah,
That is crazy.
right, right.
You started like what, 2 3 months ago?
Yeah, yeah. I want to say, what we in June? So yeah, probably about three
April.
months ago. Yeah, probably
Yeah,
April. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah,
That's amazing. That's like a month worth, like a day,
right.
every single day for a whole month.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
I,
saying? So
Yeah, putting in the work and just understanding the work that goes into it, just the editing and the production part of it. It's no joke. It's definitely no joke. But I enjoy it, and I want to continue to enjoy it, and I want to continue to put out a good product. So it's one of the things that just try to get better each time. and everything like that. So yeah, man. Yeah. All right. So I appreciate you, man. Dang, it was something else I just wanted to say. Uh, it'll come to me. I have to hit you up later.
Yo, you keep looking that way, man. You see lizards?
Yo, I tell you what, man. I tell you what, like, just gardening a little bit more and just being like in there, it really has like showed me that like, yo, you gotta overcome this, man, because and most things that like I can there's a lot of things that I just overcome just because like I gotta do it. Especially like so the only time that I really overcome like my fear of lizards, I can't believe I'm saying this on air, but it's like when one of them get like in the house and I got no choice but to, man up and be like, dang, man, why this junk gotta be in here? Like a part of me be like, yo, shoot, we got a new roommate, but 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 like nah, I'd be like, man, I gotta get this thing up out of here. But yeah, yeah, I just man, it's just so much to life that like yeah. But yeah, we'll definitely have to rap about that. On the other hand, but yeah, I appreciate you for stopping through, man, for good convo. I wanted to leave us with a little word. Um, yeah, man, I'm getting sicker and sicker. Let me see. Where am I at? So I just wanted to kind of put out this verse that I seen. Um, Proverbs 11, verse 25. I can pull it up for you guys so you can. So it says, a generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. And I kind of just keep going back to, the word service and what it means to me and what it means to us, right? So, you know, just understanding to be a light to people, and understanding that like generosity and being someone's light, you know, will then in turn like God will refresh you, because serving is an outward, expression a lot of times, and it's the energy that it takes to serve, and to be that, rock for someone, that's you're not necessarily receiving anything, and God kind of lets us know that like that service that put out to people, that in return you will be refreshed from it. And I'm pretty sure all of us have done some type of volunteer work or some type of service, um, outward, event, to where we're completely drained afterwards, and we're just like, yo, I don't want to do that again. Like that's too much to be free. Like I can understand if I was getting paid for it, but a free, volunteer event and get nothing necessarily for it, but afterwards, like the refreshness comes from like understanding like, man, I just touched somebody's life today, and that today could lead into more days of that person being able to turn around their life, or just a conversation that you have with somebody at work, or where in passing, just being, that generous person to someone that that needs it. And you never know what we're going through in life, and just understanding that, you know, those outward expressions to people, you will be paid back. But I appreciate y'all for sticking with me on a Wednesday. I guess I'll see y'all next Wednesday, and hope y'all have a great rest of the week, a good weekend, and I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Peace.
Second guess, yes. No pressure. Look how God done bless you. Come on. Wonder why I'm feeling extra. Say what it do, what the business is. Folk running over what the devil sin. Shoes, pants, chest, shoulders. Get up, off me, don't get closer. It ain't over till it's over. Game breaker, big joker. Jesus like don't trip. Finna make the boat tip. Set the tone with that ice cold, but I won't slip. In my bag like road trip. Switch stands, do my dance, dog. He really don't miss. I don't need a crystal less it's hot sauce, brother. And I ain't gotta sell my soul just to pop off, brother. Ain't no demon time when you anointed. I keep it regal like movies and hop out like I'm getting dropped off, brother. Car smelling brand new. And we don't rock with the flakes, call me shampoo. Just tryna spread that light, bring them lamps through. It's got me thinking that it's nothing that I can't do. Feeling like the champ too. We just out here praising God, looking fly, you know, regular day. No pressure. Look, I got